Catherine Bearder, Liberal Democrat MEP for the South East. Does this vote today clear the way for GM crops in the southeast of England ultimately to go ahead?
That all depends on the government. What we've passed here today is we've sorted out finally who can have GM and who can't, and effectively what we've done is said it's up to each member state. So this is the people who don't like Europe is what they've been calling out. We've pushed this back down. It has to be done on scientific grounds or whatever, but they don't have to notify. I want to make sure that it's done properly. So yes, if the government thinks that it is safe and acceptable to plant GM crops, then they can go ahead.
And what do you make of that? Is that something that you support, and why?
The whole issue of GM crops is very complicated. I support some of them because I find that that's going to actually stop us using chemicals and pesticides. So if we can have wheat that is resistant to aphids, then we don't have to spray and the bees are happy to go around and feed on the wildflowers. So GM crops could bring huge benefits to wildlife and to the farming community as a whole. However, there are some that I wouldn't support, putting beef genes into tomatoes or to alter that. So for me, this has been a compromise, and it's been a very difficult piece of legislation to get through. It's not exactly as I would have liked it, but it's a move forward, and it now means that governments, farmers, research scientists, everybody involved in this now knows what the rules are and can move forward.
And speaking to the farming industry, they say that because there's been this kind of block at a European level for so many years, it's meant that the research hasn't taken place for places like England, for areas like the southeast of England. Potentially then, do you now see that kind of research as going ahead? And does that present opportunities for the research experts in your constituency as well as the farming industry?
Absolutely. We have actually had a lot of research has been continuous, even though we haven't been able to use it in the UK. But we have terrific research facilities, and as you say, in the southeast region particularly. And they now can actually start producing the stuff locally. The rest of the world has already moved forward with GM, and Europe as a whole was really beginning to lose out on those being able to use the results of good science. So I hope now that we now know what the rules are, we can now move forward, and scientists in my region, in the southeast region, talk with scientists right across Europe. They work collaboratively and with the rest of the world. Now that we know what the rules are, we've sorted that, and we've said this is common now for the whole of the European Union, then we can sensibly move forward.
In terms of farmers in the southeast, do you see potential for GM crops to increase food production, and what's the benefit of achieving that?
Well, yes, if that is the whole point of doing GM, is to be able to increase food production without using the pesticides and the other chemicals that the farmers are at the moment having to put on. And they've said to me, when we've talked about stopping neonicotinoids for the bees, to protect the bees, they said, but we need these tools in our box. This is an alternative tool for them to use, increase the food production, which keeps down the cost of food for all of us. So it's not just for the farmers' benefit, it's for everyone's benefit. At the same time, saving them from having to put chemicals on which damage the wildlife